Uh-oh. Yikes. Okay, guys. I have to address something that I said the last time about Elaine. So I was saying that her damage output was bad. And going by my spreadsheet, I actually calculated her final endgame damage to be somewhere around 52k on her second skill to about 54.7k on her third skill, right? So that was like my final calculation, my final estimate, but things have actually changed a lot. So okay, I must apologize that I didn't do a very good showcase because I accidentally used level 80 enemies instead of level 60 enemies. So this was actually pointed out by quite a few of you guys. And yes, the difference in their stats is actually quite massive. So take a look at this Wraith here, right? His defense at level 60 is surprisingly at 1400 total. As opposed to, let's say we change the levels to level 80, right? His defense actually goes up by a lot. So right now from 1400, he has almost doubled the defense. No, he has doubled the defense. Or in fact, more than doubled his defense. So that's going to change a lot in terms of her numbers. So let's say we go through a level 60 Wraith, right? Let's see how much damage we can do to the same Wraith. The same setups, our equipments are still exactly the same. I am just trying to be honest with the mistake that I made here, and I apologize if I offended anyone. But thankfully she's free, and she's still in the banner, right? The banner actually literally just started. But okay, so let's take a look at the same strat again, right? So we have this Wraith here. Oh, I was actually looking at this Wraith, but they kind of have the same stats. So let's take a look at our third skill and how much damage we can do, potentially. And I apologize that I'm lagging a little bit. And I know some of you guys also asked me to reduce the 3 times to 1 times, but the reason why I'm keeping it at 3 times is so that we can see all the numbers in one single screenshot itself. So it's easier for us to understand her damage output. Okay, so let's go. And boom, 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 boom. 13,000 on one defense ignored attack, right? Let's take a look at this again, just to confirm that it was 13,000. Now, the reason why I'm doing this test on a level 60 enemy, even though it's because this is not the difficulty that you're going to face on a daily basis, right? But the reason why I'm doing that is so that I can be in line with the rest of my other tests that I did in the past. So talking about Camille, talking about Leora as well, we need to fix our variable, and the variable is going to be the enemy Esper's levels. So let's take a look at this one more time. We do not have a sleep on him, but it's still fine because our third skill can inflict sleep. So it's going to allow us to eventually do like sleeping damage or defense ignoring damage. 13,000 damage as well. Let's test this one more time. And the reason why I keep testing this is because I thought I saw 11,000 before. Yeah, there is 11,000 there. So I'm not sure why it went to 13,000 the other time. And the reason why I'm testing this again is because it seems like we are not even landing a lot of defense ignoring attacks. We have only landed 1 each time, which is not supposed to be the case. We have 50% chance of ignoring defense. Let's try it again. 11,000. Okay. I'm not sure why I saw 13,000. I'm not sure. Okay, post edit daddy free to play. I reviewed the footage and I am still not sure why there is 13,000 in her damage numbers, because some of you guys might say that, oh, because we didn't land a sleep on maybe like the first time, but that's not true. I actually proved quite a number of times that there was sleep on the enemy and yet we were still dealing 11,000, and sometimes it just jumps out to 13,000 for some reason. I'm not sure exactly why this is the case, but just going by our skills, right, as you can see my passive here, we will only ignore defense on sleeping targets. So even if the enemy was not asleep, we would not be doing like lesser ignored damage. We won't be doing like less damage, for example. So when you're using her third skill, there is nothing over here. I'm not sure I'm lagging so much, but there is nothing in her third skill that increases her damage based on debuffs, for example, that would actually affect our numbers this way. So it is safe to say that there is some kind of bug here as well. I'm not sure why Elaine is dealing 13,000 damage there, but 11,000 should be the actual damage that she's able to output on a consistent basis at least. Okay, so 11,000, which is exactly what I saw before I recorded this video. So if you multiply that by 5 defense ignoring attacks, let's say you ignore defense on all of your attacks, which is, it's super rare, right? The chance of it happening is super rare, but let's talk about her potential optimal output. And 11,500 plus times 5 is actually 69,234 damage. And that is not the same as the 54,700 damage that I calculated in my previous video. And I'm talking about at endgame stats, where I increased my stats by another 20%. So that actually increased our final damage output by another 26.6%. It is a very big difference, right? Just talking about the change in the Esper's levels here. So essentially all of her damage needs to be multiplied by another 1.26 or 1.27%, which is a big number. It is an extra factor of 1.27 basically. So how does this change for her kit? In my opinion, that definitely improves her DPS output by a lot. Like if you increase the damage by 25%, just because of one slip up, right? Just because of one miscalculation, that is a big change. It's a massive change. Now, in terms of clearing content, you cannot sleep bosses, so she's still not going to be good against bosses. You can sleep Furbitter, you can do a lot of multi-hits to Fafnir, so she's going to be great at Furbitter, she's going to be great at Fafnir, and some of you guys also are right to say that she's going to be good at Sonica because she has multi-hits on her third skill and her second skill, right? So she's always going to be protected. That is true as well. And apart from these areas, I do feel like she has more viability in RTA right now because she's able to sleep almost with certainty in RTA, and you do not necessarily need to rely on Leora to maintain your stealth period because if you're dealing so much damage like 69,000 at endgame, right, that has a really good chance to like one-shot a lot of stuff that has very low defense, for example. But of course, it might not be enough, but yet at the same time, her going back into stealth is pretty useful, I would say. So I think in terms of RTA, she definitely has a little bit more value than whatever they are predicted at the start. And again, I truly apologize. I just want to get this video out. And I know there's going to be a little bit of backlash and I'm sorry about it. Hope you guys can forgive me on that. But her damage is probably not bad anymore. It's decent. I'll say her damage output is decent for a single target nuke. But anyway, that's it for this video. If you have any other comments or questions, leave it down in the comment section below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Now with that said, this has been Derry Free to Play, and as always, I will see you in the next video.